Okay, hi everybody. There is a crowd here already. Oh, you guys must have been just waiting because no Dee Dee today. Ugh, what a horrible morning. Not really. I just did housework and figured out what I was going to do, so it all worked out okay. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Kat. Hi, Terry. Missy. So, yeah, it was weird. Hasn't felt like a Monday for sure, but I got some housework done and worked on what I'm doing today, and we'll wait and let a few people get in here, and then I'll start. And I don't know if it doesn't show on mine, but anyway, oh, I put for the title Zentangle and Blowing Ink. Um, hey, CB. Hi, Linda. Give Tim a hug. Hi, Keeks. Um, but I don't know what I did with this strip, but I'd showed you guys where I'd been blowing some ink on some watercolor paper, and it just looked cool. I thought it's been tucked in the back of my mind. I'm just going to do that today. So who knows? Could be a complete success, could be an absolute failure, and we're not going to worry either way. So we've been having a ton of rain. Hi, Icy. Hi, Joanne. Um, my walkway to my boat dock is underwater. Like it's usually downhill. It went straight and now it's uphill and it's underwater. Uh, you guys, this has got to end at some point, you know? It's got to. We're flooding down here. We're dying. And I know people in Texas are going, "Oh, we could use the rain probably, but we've had enough. I'm tired of the thunder, the lightning, the So that's what I've been whining about lately. What have you guys been whining about lately? Anyway, I did this weekend. I think last week we talked about glad you have none. Yeah. See, that's what I thought. CB is Texas is dying for rain and we're getting it all. So you're under severe storms right now, Missy. Yeah, it's weird. Um, but yeah, it's just every night we have severe storms. You need rain for the fires. Yeah, see, it's just weird. Ink blower extraordinaire. That would be me, bossy butt. Anyway, um, I'm participating in Art Salute Beginners. Um, Windows, Windows to the World, or something like that. West and around Dallas have gotten rain. Okay. Um, so I went ahead and did this week's, and I've been using the little scrap piece of paper that's left to make little baby ones. And I like the little baby ones really a lot, you guys. I really do. But this one was fun. And I kind of cheated on this one because normally I do the background in watercolor, but I did this in alcohol markers. That's right. I forgot. Yesterday was Cheshire Cat's birthday. Happy birthday, Dar. Um, I don't usually use pink, but this was one of her color. Yeah, I will, Joanne. Um, this was one of her color recommendations, so I'm going to use her exactly. CB. In fact, some of the people out in the world already got last week's two little baby ones. So yeah, but this is alcohol marker, and I'm not sure why I did that, other than I want to use my alcohol marker more, you know, and Deb and I broke down and I bought another set. I'm not sure that I got a whole lot more bright colors, but I've been fighting with myself for like months. You don't need any more. You don't use the ones you got. You can't have any more. And then finally I said, bullshit. Oops. I can have more if I want. So I have more. So yeah, these are the little baby ones. I think I posted it yesterday, but they're fun. I love them. So yeah, the little baby ones do go out in the world in the form of happy mail. Um, and 2 of them are already on their way to their destination. Yeah, the little baby ones are very fun. And I had done some other baby ones. Let me see if I had done them. Because I'd done some, they're not in here. Oh, there's baby ones that I did, really simple ones for bookmarks. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. So the baby ones spawn out into the world. They do. So, yeah. So I'll be doing more little baby ones. They're fun. They're easy to finish. Everything's just smaller. Hi, Ego Brain. And then I posted on Instagram too the packages. You got a baby butt? I don't have a baby butt. Yeah, I like the fish scale ones. The fish scale ones were out of the Isoldo design book, I'm pretty sure. And she's got a new one coming out. So I will be buying that. I don't think it's till October. So let me show you. When you guys get your ATCs, oh, from the circus balloons. Okay. I'll just quickly show you. When you get your ATCs, they will be in the card sleeves. And I loved Miriam so much, you guys, that I made a photocopy of hers and kept one of each. And someday I will be drawing these faces. I just loved her entire approach to this. And the drawings were so awesome. And I did copy them onto the washi sticker paper. Hi, Dorothy. Oh, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 o'clock my time. Okay. Devin just changed her stream time on Wednesday from 3 p.m. in the afternoon to 7 p.m. in the evening. So anyway, yeah, I just made a photocopy of all of Miriam's because I love them so much. And you can kind of tell the ones that I picked because this one had the queen on it. But they were all so good. It was really hard to decide, you know, which to keep, which not to keep. Yeah. So I didn't spend a lot of time worrying about it. Yeah, they are. They're all just so amazingly good. Queen. I love these two. Loved, loved, loved them. But I didn't keep copies. And we ended up having, what did I tell Dee Dee? 41 different entries. So that was pretty amazing that we have. And this was Miriam's original. 41, that's darn good turnout, you guys. So thanks. Thanks again so much for playing with us. They're just so much fun. Dee Dee. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah, 41, that was amazing. So you guys, thank you. And they went out Thursday morning. So I'm thinking domestic people, it is a ton of participation, really. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you like what you get back. And remember, I was able to send everyone at least 10. So even though you thought you were only going to get 9 back, you actually ended up getting 10 because some of the fibs, and of course, Dee Dee and I submitted more. So everybody got at least 10. And then I randomly just picked people to slip in the extras that I have. So when you get yours, make sure and flip it over to the back side because I just put them in the back of the one card holder. So be sure to look at the back when you get it because you will have at least one back there and some people might have multiples because I'm very nice that way. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, it was great turnout, Terry. And everybody did such an amazing job. So I hope you enjoy them. I really do. I enjoy doing them. I'm not sure my mailman enjoys me doing them, but I don't really care. And that butthole, I swear to God. Of course, we get our mail every day, but for the last month or so, I've been picking up the neighbor's mail. And at first, I was just picking up the mail, never looking at it. And then she called me and she said, "Would you check my mail and see if I've gotten this or this?" And so I was going through her mail, and it was just like, I'm picking out mail from everybody. Like they're just sending everybody's mail apparently to her mailbox. So I was whining about that. And we just went ahead and redelivered it. Um, but then, yes, now they're starting to do it to my own post office box or my own post box. Hi, Joan. Um, I hope you like them, Joanne. So, yeah, I don't really care what the postman likes or doesn't like because they can't deliver the damn mail. How about that? And then you guys know I'm doing Conspiracy Chicken Chronicles. And I have to say, I'm having a ton of fun with this. I am going to do the passport journal still. I really am. But this is just kind of taken over all of my time. So I'll just flip quick because there's only 3 that I've gotten done. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Flat Earth, those people are loco, I think. I don't know. Now watch. Maybe it'll turn out to be true and I'll go, boy, what a dumbass you were. So had I done this one the last time? Or is this week's? Okay, this is this week's, Area 51 in Roswell. And I went ahead and combined them because they're both have to do with aliens and UFOs. So, and this is kind of an American thing. I don't know how many people internationally have heard about it, but Area 51 and Roswell are UFO. My question was, are UFOs and aliens real? Area 51 is the common name of a highly classified U.S. Air Force facility within the test and training range in southern Nevada. I think it's at the Nellis Air Force Base. It is synonymous with UFO alien conspiracies, reportedly where a UFA landed with 4 aliens on board, one of which, J-Rod, they called it J-Rod, lived at Area 51 and worked with the government on science and technology. And it's also rumored to be connected to a vast underground network of tunnels that connect all the government facilities in the western U.S. because there's a bunch of them out there. There's Los Alamos, and there's a bunch in Arizona, a bunch in California. So that whole western United States is kind of like a hotbed for U.S. government secret hiding places. And there was a guy, Bob Lazar, a whistleblower who worked at Area 51 and another area in there called S4, says there are 9 flying saucers there, and scientists are reverse engineering UFO technology. He has reported that the craft's propulsion system allows the craft to traverse great distances instantly by manipulating time and space. And I had heard all that before, but that's basically what Area 51 in Roswell is about. And the Bob Lazar guy came out and did he's done it several times now, but he swears that there are alien craft there. Yeah, there's a whole thing about under the Denver airport too. And oddly enough, Bossy, my husband, Jim, worked for Amoco in communications, and he was at Los Alamos and some of those secret areas all the time. But anyway, after Amoco offered him a golden parachute, so he took early retirement, and I wasn't ready to quit working yet, so he had taken a job because he was a master electrician, and so they were building the new Denver airport, DIA, at that time. So he took a job managing the electrical out at Denver International Airport and did that for about a year and a half, I think. And now he's, of course, passed away. I wish to God he was alive so I could ask Wright-Patterson Air Force. Yeah, that, in fact, Wright-Patterson, they said that the Roswell UFO, I guess, was taken to Wright-Patterson before it ended up back at Area 51. Okay, see, so you guys have heard about this. Well, this has never died down. This is a conspiracy that to this day, people want to know what the heck is going on over at Area 51. And at Roswell, New Mexico, that happened in 1947, which that's a long time ago. The U.S. Army made a public statement and claimed to have recovered a crashed UFO. They retracted the story within hours, saying it was a weather balloon. The Army scoured and removed the debris from a farmer's field. Reportedly, 4 alien bodies were also recovered, described as little people. The crash material has been described as rubbery metal. It's believed that the craft recovered is maintained at Area 51. And a lot of people have said that. You know, that is kind of like just generally accepted fact now. Hey, View. And the pros about whether or not this is in fact true, they did a survey, and about 2/3 of Americans, or 65%, believe that intelligent life exists on other planets. 86.9% of scientists believe basic extraterrestrial life exists. And the thing that makes it compelling is that the sheer numbers of reported sightings is compelling. Whistleblower testaments, the speed of technological advancements, for example, stealth and unmanned flight in space and all that. Those are reasons, hi Raul, that, you know, this may be true. The cons are, I don't remember what year the government put it out, but they came out with Project Blue Book, where supposedly they'd done this really in-depth study, and the U.S. government has come out and denied that there's been any recovery of crafts or alien remains, and that no communications have been intercepted. So that's kind of officially the argument against it being real, that the government has come out and said, no, it's just not true. Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily believe anything the government tells me, because they've proven themselves to be big fat liars. And the media has been proven to be in collusion with the big fat lying government. Okay, now next week, if they come and pick me up, would somebody please deliver me some lemon donuts to jail? And my conclusion is, it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. Why not embrace the little green peeps? And then I'll tell you a story, a firsthand account. It was, the kids were still in high school, so it was many, many years ago. A group of us, all the kids, Jim and I, Jamie's boss, had all gone to the University of Colorado football stadium to watch a 4th of July fireworks display, right? And so we'd been there all night, and it was, you know, probably 10, 11 o'clock, I don't know, sometime after it was all over. The whole big group of us were walking back to our cars, which were parked out in the streets in Boulder. Thank you, Kat. And John Booth and I, which John was Jamie's boss at the time. And John and I were walking together, just, you know, yakking about whatever, I don't even know. And honestly, you guys, up in the sky, from one horizon on my right-hand side, all the way across the sky and to the left horizon, something went across the sky, and it was traveling about as fast as your eyes could follow it. I mean, it was, what, 2 or 3 seconds maybe? And it was nothing I had ever seen before, for sure. Now, this was 4th of July, where there's a lot going on in the sky, right? But honestly, this thing went from right to left across the sky fast. And I said to John, I said, did you see that? He said, yeah, what was it? I said, I don't know. I have no clue. I've never seen anything like that. and we knew it wasn't a plane. And so then it was just like, that was really weird. Okay, fine, go home, go to bed, whatever. But there was a lot of occasion for John and I to see each other through the years. And every time John and I were together, and we asked everybody else, did you guys see it? Did you guys see it? No, nobody else had seen it. But every time John and I were together, John has since passed, sadly, too. Died way too young. Whenever we saw each other, it was just like, do you think we saw a UFO? Do you think we saw a UFO? We've never answered it. We'll never answer it. But honestly, you guys, I saw something that I could not explain. And thank God John was there with me and saw it, because at this point, I would be thinking I was loco. I would just be like, I must be cuckoo. Will the next page be apocalyptic, Janet's biggest conspiracy, end of the world? I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing next. Even then, Janet was smoking them funny cigarettes. You know what? No, I wasn't, Barbara, because I had quit smoking funny cigarettes before I moved in with the kids. When the kids were around, there was no monkey business going on, I promise you. I set a perfectly good example for those young people. And Jamie, I think to this day, has never touched it. So you're jealous? See, I don't know. I still don't know how I felt about it, because that night I felt really weird. It was just like, did I really see that? And thank God for John, because I would still to this day be saying, you're insane, girl. You're insane, cuckoo. But the next one that I'm thinking about, and I haven't started it yet, in that list that we compiled, which I have not put on my community page yet, you guys, and I'm sorry, but now it's all written on. But in that list that we had created, there were so many people related, mysterious deaths, conspiracy around deaths. So I thought, like, I combined this page with Area 51 in Roswell. I think I'm going to do a page of unusual deaths, or, conspiracies around, probably celebrity deaths, is because that's where all the conspiracy ends up. You got Jeffrey Epstein, Paul McCartney, Princess Di, JFK. Who else? There's a Natalie Wood. There's just a ton of them. You really might have been. When I was a kid, we saw orange orbs in a storm that other people around the city also saw. No one could explain it, even on the nose. So who knows? See, that's just it. And that's why the little alien guy, I love the little alien guy. Dee Dee wanted me to put a UFO in his eyes, and I actually tried, but I couldn't get it to work good. So I just do the little guy. Elvis, I looked into Elvis this weekend. Yeah, and that conspiracy is going on forever, that he actually faked his death to get out of the limelight. He did not like the limelight. And there are several like that I've heard about since then, people who fake their own death, and just so they can go have a regular life. And there's another conspiracy around Jeffrey Epstein, is that because of the powerful people, many of them politicians and elite, and not just from the United States, all over the world. I mean, Prince Andrew was even drug into that. That they faked Jeffrey Epstein's death and then just moved him out of the prison. Another really weird one that I would like to look into this, because this was really weird. Which of the NASA space flights was the one with Sally Ride, where Sally Ride and her crew blew up? Now there's a conspiracy that was entirely faked, and that all those people that we think are dead are in fact out living life. And the pictures that I've seen, you guys, I have to say, they look just like the people. Look into Elvis having a twin brother. Okay. Was it Challenger? Yeah, I think. Hi, Kristen. I think you're right. I think it was. Hi, Cat and Paste. Cat and Paste, you got here too late for the crazy stuff. Um, but yeah, and then, the whole Paul is dead. And so I've been looking into all that. Yeah. And I think I'm going to do one page of just um, mysterious deaths. Yeah. So I think that's what's next. So I'll be listening to a lot of probably crazy, crazy garbage the next week. But I have already started looking into it, just listening. And I don't pay a whole hell of a lot of attention to that stuff. Um, I did watch a video on Natalie Wood, and of course, most of you are a certain age, so you know who um, Natalie Wood is. She was a famous actress. All right, so let me find the list of the people. Oh, crap. I'll just write myself a separate. No, here it is. Okay, so who am I looking into? Avril Lavigne. Lavigne. Okay. They're on the list, Raul, about the lizard people. Yeah, they're on the list. So you can see how much notes. I mean, look at all this crap that I have to keep around because it's got little notes written on it that I have to go back and go through. People say she is dead and was replaced by a body double. Well, and I've heard that about other famous people too, Keeks, that with the masks and stuff, that they can literally recreate anybody they want. Kat, after watching a couple things on Natalie Wood, I kind of think I agree with you. Reptilians, yep. So, Kristen saying Wagner, definitely, yeah. And I watched a video of the boat captain talking to, I think it was Dr. Oz, and he's passed two polygraph examinations about what happened that night, and boy, it sure points to Wagner. So yeah, I kind of agree with you there. And she was so deathly afraid of dark water that she would not have gotten in that lifeboat, or yeah, she would not have done any of that on her own. So yeah. So anyway, this is washi sticker paper because I think if I like what we end up doing today, I'm going to turn it into washi tape, strips of tape. And I thought I would use, excuse me, the Bria Reese watercolor inks. And I got these when Hobby Lobby had their big blowout sale, and I've not used them really. Hi, Joyce Boring. What's Cat and Paste saying I should look into? Loch Ness Mystery, mermaids. There's a ton of them, right? That is a conspiracy, Cat and Paste, that it keeps going back to Top Chat. I agree. So I picked out just three colors, primary colors, yellow, blue, and red. And I cut the paper into pieces 5 1/8 inch wide because that's how wide the beast is, or 5 and almost 5/8 inch, because that's how wide the beast is. And then I can just cut it into strips and it'll be the perfect size. So that's what I'm doing. Hi, Barbara Clark. And hopefully this won't hurt me because I'm going to have to blow this ink. But I did try, because I knew I was going to use this, and I thought, well, they won't have that, probably most of them. Not that you couldn't buy it. But I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and try it with watercolor, because you can do this, I think, literally with any liquid. You just bought watercolors in the bottle. Ecoline makes a bunch of them too. So the thing about these is they're really bright, vibrant colors. Like a little bit goes a long, long way. But I went ahead and did it This is with watercolor, and I did it with the, which ones? But this is in effect what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to Zentangle on it. These were, oh, the ones I really like. Why am I having a brain dead moment? Hang on, I'm going to tell you which ones. Mission Gold watercolors. And I picked them because they are very vibrant, but any watercolor would work. Just wet the watercolors and then I just take like a little pipette like this and drop it. So yeah, you can turn your watercolors into these too. And then I also did one with because I know a bunch of us during that Hobby Lobby sale got the acrylic inks. Not these Liquitex weren't on sale, but a bunch of the others. So I just used acrylic inks. So acrylic inks will also work on this. I don't think your craft paint is going to work that well. Hi, Manamo. Did Ruth come in? Hi, Ruth. I hope I haven't missed a bunch of you. But anyway, the acrylic inks will work. I think your craft paint is going to be too thick, but you probably could water it down. The problem with watering it down, of course, is they're not going to be as vibrant. But otherwise, yeah, even if you don't have the Brea Reese inks, I think you can pretty much do this the same way. I'm just going to do it with this, and I'm going to do it very intentionally to use in my beast. So got myself a very small straw, but I may end up trying a little bit bigger straw. This may make me hyperventilate, and I don't know if I want to hyperventilate. And I like the way this works really good on watercolor paper. I know because I've done it. This is on the washi sticker paper. And the one thing I like about that is because the paper is not so absorbent, it stays wet for a while. So you get a lot of the color mixture and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I like. So let's start blowing ink because we can. And I'm going to do it a drop at a time. Whoop, that's a big old blob. You've done it? Yeah, I've done it with some other stuff. And you might get spit on stuff. Just saying. Don't freak out. And I'm going to try and remember to go out to the edges of the paper because I want to use the whole sheet, right? Let me try the bigger straw. Oh, that's going to be more effective, I think. And there are spots of this that are still wet. So, and I'd like to leave a little bit bigger areas so that I can Zentangle in it. So I don't know how lucky I'll be about that, but we'll try. I have to move the paper because I can't move my head. I've already got it on my hands. And I'm trying to move pretty quick because I want the ink to stay somewhat wet so that I'll get some green and purple out of the three primaries, right? Blow painting. I was obsessed with it in kindergarten. Well, here I am living my second childhood, cat and paste. I can't get this lid back on, so I'll just set it over there and hope not to spill it. Trying to remember. It seems like I've done this once before on stream with something else for some other reason, but now I can't remember. There, the lid went on. So look how that came out, that kind of turquoise color. Oh, no wonder my hands are getting in it. Duh. Oh, I should have worked on top of something because now I'm going to have a big mess. Let me get a napkin or something. Clean up some of my mess as I go. That's not going to be helpful, is it? And I'm not sure about dripping it because you could also drip it, I think, and it could work out really cool. It looks a mess, doesn't it? And I think this Bria Reese ink, I'm not sure. I don't want to say that it was, it wasn't alcohol inks on Yupo. That was probably it, CB. I hit it with a heat gun here in a minute. You're having internet connection. Oh. Okay, hang on. If I disappear, it's conspiracy. Would you lose the veins of ink if you missed it with water? I kind of think so, Sherry. We can try that. Hi, by the way. I have another piece cut. We can try misting it with water. I'm not sure I wanted that big a drop, but what the heck? See, I wanted some of that purple. Finger. Praying mantis aliens. Ooh. Look at Bossy and her. Now it's running right there, which I really like. Her imaginations. Trying to lighten it up. You know, one thing I could do. Get out some paper towel. All right. There's a subreddit called Experiencers, and they're always discussing the mantis people. See, I haven't even looked into that, and I don't know anything about it. You know, like most of the stuff I've done, it's stuff I've heard about, which I thought would be a little bit easier. All right, I think I'm going to just do that. No, I'm going to get a clean piece. I think I have some right here. Hang on, hang on. I'm going to suck up the excess. You call your, ooh, look at that. You call your beast the vault? Laverne already got hers. Hi, Laverne. Laverne already got her ATCs. So the rest of you start watching your mail because that means they're being delivered. That's awesome. And I don't know. I hope the international ones don't take forever, you guys. I really do. Sometimes mail from Terry will get here like in a week. Sometimes it takes 3 weeks. I think it was Green Band from, is it Green Bands in Australia? Hers took like 3 weeks to get here. But thank goodness they got here. All right, I'm trying to work on some of these edges because I want the edges to have stuff. So when I cut it in strips, I've got stuff there, right? But I also want some kind of big areas where I can do some cool Zentangle-y stuff. Nazca mummies. Will next year ATC be mythical creatures? That would be a fun one, Raul, because I truly, truly love Miriam's ants and the little descriptions that she gave them where they're off to. You know, they're going to the cookie jar, they're going to the toaster. I just thought that was so clever. I truly, truly enjoyed that. So, Raul, I better write it down. Mythical creatures. We'll write it down. All ideas are welcome, that's for sure. Got it written down. Now, whatever happens to that note, we'll see. Got some good oranges, a couple greens, a couple places, some purple. So the color mixing's going fairly well. Yeah. All right. Let's stop on this one. I'm going to do another one, let this one sit and dry. And we'll try and do maybe what I ought to do is just do it right on top of this. Duh. Yeah, it is kind of fun and organic for sure, cat and paste. All right. And I'm going to stick with these colors because I kind of know that they'll mix well. Hi, Jetta. Maybe if I start at the edges, I won't have to worry about coming in and filling them in later, huh? Swallow all your spit. I forgot to get spray bottle out. But I think it will reactivate with water, so Let me do some little bit of yellow here and there. And the reason I have to put the lids back on, well, I won't this time, is I'm scared to death I'm going to knock them off and they're going to end up on the floor. Thanks, Bossy Butt. I do love this blue, I have to say. All right, there's some good green. That's good green too. And this is staying wet fairly long, so yeah, that's probably a good idea, Kristen. I worry more about knocking stuff off on the floor and ended up with ink that I can't remove off the floor. That's my bigger problem. That turquoise or kind of aqua green is really pretty. I'm trying hard not to put too much ink out. That is kind of cool. Let's do that with some red over here. All right, and I'm not sure at what point do I add the little bit of water? I blew most of that off onto the paper towel. I like the effect of blowing it back and forth. Yeah, Robert's here when I hit the floor and hyperventilate. I'm not sure he'll do anything to resuscitate me, Ruth, but yeah, he's here to watch it. I don't think I'll hyperventilate. God, I hope not. All right, now I could add a little bit more down here. Now I can always go back in later and add, right? I'm not sure how much water. The water, I think, is going to make the ink spread, which I won't be able to do much Zentangle on it, but that's okay. We're just playing anyway. Doesn't do much that I can really tell. I think that's going to be okay. All right. You got a Dee Dee giveaway. Okay, she posted May 23rd. So that's what, about 3 weeks? Yeah, because we're a week into June, a little over a week into June. 2.5 weeks. I guess it's not horrible when you consider they probably inspect every package. Now, the envelopes, I think, could happen faster than that. But a package, they do have to watch those a lot more careful. So I got to take my sweater off. I'm cooking over here. Okay, before I do the third sheet that I cut, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a heat gun, and we'll start Zentangling on it and see if we like it. All right, I'm going to hit it with a heat gun real quick, if I can find the heat gun. Heat gun. This one should be dry, I think. 2 weeks to Canada. That's always been my experience as well, Joanne. I always figure at least 2 weeks to Canada, always. Okay, I'm going to just see, just for my own information, if these Briarees, okay, they are reactive. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're going to move no matter what. I was just curious more than anything. Oh, look, I got a little fingerprint down there because my hands got dirty. All right, what I did get out my Tangle pattern book because I was hoping I'd have some decent sized areas to do some fun Zentangle. Going to be a long wait for the ATCs. I hope not, because they went out, most of them, in number 10 envelopes, you know, business size. So yeah, let's just get in here and see what. Let's go to the random patterns first. And if you see any of these, you want to see how to draw, I can pull the box out of the card. That one is always really cool. So let's try it first. Let's do the little page. What pen do we want to use? Let's use, I think I like this nib size. Yeah, that'll show up good. This is just a Energel pen. I like these. I like them a lot. They're gel pens. They come in brown, turquoise. You can get them in a lot of different colors. I don't remember. I don't think the ink is permanent. Yeah, that's why I don't use them a lot. But on this, I'm not going to care because after I'm done with this, I should not be getting it wet. All right. Let's pick a cool place right here in the middle. I'm not sure. Now this part of it I've not done before, so you've had in the past from Dee Dee that took 2 days? Holy crap. Yeah, that seems a little excessive to me. All right, I am going to go ahead and outline the box that I'm drawing in. So I stay out of the lines. If you want me to pull you in a little bit, I can do that. Just speak up. Somebody wrote me a message the other day about where to get Zentangle patterns. I get most of mine. I'll pull you guys down because you're having a hard time seeing because the damn camera won't focus, you freak. And I, for years, I mean, it took me a long time to put this book and my box all together. But for years, I've used a website called tanglepatterns.com. And you can pretty much find a ton of patterns on there. I know a lot of people use Pinterest. I don't go to Pinterest anymore. Not for any particular reason other than I think there's just so many sites out there for creative outlets. It's hard to participate in all of them, you know. So I would just go to tanglepatterns.com in the evenings because I'm really bad about like my brain is such that I can't just sit and watch TV. It makes me an absolute nervous wreck. It's kind of like coloring books. I thought, oh, I'd really enjoy doing that. They drove me, just sitting around coloring drove me crazy. Made me nervous. So I would just in the evening while the TV was on in the background, just go to tanglepatterns.com and copy down the steps. So yeah. And probably in these little smaller areas, I don't know that I'm going to do every white area, but if it's big enough that I think I can pull something off. Another thing I could do is just go ahead and continue the pattern over there. Like it's been interrupted. Hey, K-Bird. What's it? Uh-oh, Barbara's missing. It is a conspiracy. Yeah, so I've got to make the rules up as I go along. Like in here, I may end up having to use multiple pens because in here where there's smaller areas, I'm thinking I wouldn't mind adding something in there. But that pen nib is just going to be too big. And then some patterns I'll just repeat over and over. Mostly because I like them, and it'll be a little bit more cohesive, I think. And what I'll end up doing with this, oh my gosh, there's Dee Dee. Are you at the lake or did you go in to feed the cats? I have to say I missed you so much this morning, Dee Dee. I had to clean. And I felt weird all day, so it's your fault. I'm so glad you dropped in, though. Thank you. Say hi to all your family. I hope you guys are having a great time. Living the lake life. Right now, I'm living the getting ready to flood and die lake life. Oh, you already went home and fed the cats, and now you're back at the lake. Good job, girl, girl, girl. I hope they're having fun. I'm just playing with inks, and I'm going to do some Zentangle in them. I need another big space. Let's do it. All right. Do you guys want me to give you the, excuse me, the name of these tangles as I'm drawing them? So if it's something you want to go look up, you can. Entirely up to you. No sweat off my back. I had no idea what to expect, if this would come out way cool or if it would just be a big fat freaking mess. Oh yeah, a bunch of people wanting, was it on Instagram or I saw that. Thanks, Dee Dee. On IG, yeah. I was gonna say I did get a bunch of requests and I just ignored them. I guess I should go in and block them, huh? And report them. I hadn't thought about whether or not I would use some graphite to shade these. After I get this done, this one, and the reason I thought about it is because this one looks really good. Oh, you know what I could do is rather than use graphite and rub it, I could, gosh, my throat. I could use some gray ink. I'll try that. On the edges, you just kind of have to make it up. I love that Zentangle. So I forgot to look at chat if you guys want me to give you the name of the Zentangles. I just will, because I'm nice that way. All right, let's try on this one. I'm just going to use Crayola Super Tip because it's right here at my elbow. May not be dark enough. Maybe it's okay. Now I wish I had a before and after photo. Now I need to do some more with the thicker nib. Let's try it down here. And I'll do that same design again. It's better, at least I think it's better, if you repeat designs. Another thing that you could do that might look really cool is rather than using a whole bunch of different designs is pick out certain areas and pick one design so it looks like it's spilled on top of that design, right? Dee Dee, are you taking off? Go have fun with your kids. I'm happy that you and Buddy get to do that this week. As you get older, it's harder and harder to get your family together. Believe me. And sometimes it's just a downright pain in your arse. Now see that blue you can hardly see. So I'm going to go ahead and extend this over to the yellow. Because it's hard to see that blue in there. And keep in mind, this will all be cut up. So there won't be any real cohesion to it when it's all said and done. There's still a fake account of mine up over on IG. I've reported it I don't even know how many times. And I finally just given up and said, okay. It's not like they're posting anything, so I don't know if people create fake accounts to boost their follower number. I suspect there's some of that. Just copy other accounts so your follower count is boosted. I don't care. If you follow me, great. If you don't, great. I don't care. I don't even know the number. Don't care about the number. But if you follow me and post, or if I follow you and you post cool stuff, that's what I like. I'm not sure that all of them are nefarious either, Joanne. So don't get freaked out, because I think honestly some of them are just using fake accounts to boost their own numbers. I've always thought that. Because what are they going to get off my Instagram account? For real. It's not like my credit card information or anything is over there. So, oh, thanks, bossy butt. You're the bomb, girl. You're the bomb. I don't care what your husband says. See, that circle design, I'll probably go ahead and just repeat throughout. I think it'll just end up being very cool. And if you come to Grand Lake right now, you'll know that it's summertime because all the city buttholes are here. Doing fireworks half the night. Oh. Just looking through my book, seeing what other designs I like. Let me pull you up for just a second. There's a bunch of them that will work really well for this, and I think you just kind of got to get a feel for it. Like this one, this river one, that will work really good. Let's try an area of that. And I'll use the thicker nib. Let's do it up here. That was kind of messy. Focus, you freak. Sorry, the camera just doesn't want to agree. Hi, Brenda. Oh, you think it's shaking people down for money? Oh, yeah, come after my money. I did get one of those calls, and it's been a few years back, and they warned everybody about it, about somebody will call you and pretend to be like one of your relatives. And what surprised me was they knew Robert's grandson's name, and his name is Joe. And he called on my phone, which is not unusual. Joe would call me on my phone or usually text me. So it would have been unusual for Joe to actually make a phone call. But anyway, I got a call from Joe, and it supposedly sounded like he's crying or something. And he'd been picked up by the police and needed bail money. Okay. Um, Truth is, anybody who knows me knows that one, if you're wanting your dumbass to get bailed out of jail, I'm the last person on earth you want to call. I promise you. Because chances are very good I'm going to tell you that you're going to rot there. I'm not, but I'd heard about the scam, so I went along with it, just pretending like, oh, Joe, I'm so sorry to hear that. Where are you? What can I do? But honestly, you could ask Joe without any conversation beforehand and say, Joe, what would happen if you called Merle and asked for bail money? I'd die in jail. I'm not kidding you. I would die in jail. All right, here's one that we can do. This is kind of a big area down here. Yeah, I'm the last person you should call for bail money. Okay, I'll make the little circles with the finer nib pen. This is how it starts. You just start out with little circles. I'm going to use the bigger nib to color these in, but I suppose there are older people who would get scammed that way, thinking they found a friend on the internet. That'd be like me finding a friend in real life. You want to come to my house? Are you crazy? Why can't you just send me memes or reels over on Instagram? Those are my friends. Who else can you call? Yeah, don't call me to get bail money, because I'll let your dumb ass rot in prison or in the local jail. Say, enjoy that baloney, butthead. But the thing is, Joe is the last person on the planet who would end up in trouble. Now, if they called and said Nathan, I'd go, yep, that's possible, but not Joe. One thing about doing this in this tiny space, it better be worth it, because this is tedious in these small areas. But if it works out good, I'll be okay with it. I'm looking for the name of this one. Let me see. What's it called? Oh, Ravel. Ravel. Well, let me see with the thicker lines if I like it. Of course, I'm the only one who will ever get to enjoy it if it goes in the beast. Or maybe Jamie will look at it when he takes it out to throw it in the dumpster when I'm gone. If I still even have it by then. Yeah, there's some. I won't be Zentangling in all the little spaces, but in some of the bigger ones, yeah, I think it'll look cool. Come on, focus, you freak. Checking to see. Dee Dee's sending me an image. I'm assuming since she sent it during stream, unless it's naked bodies. Come on, phone, quit dinking around. Oh, this looks like fun, you guys. There's Dee Dee's family out on the beach or out on the lake. Big old trampoline floaty out there. Whoever that is, I think that's Annie taking a picture of Dee Dee taking a picture. That's somebody's big butt that we didn't get to see. Bummer, dude. It looks fun, Dee Dee. Looks beautiful there. And that must be Logan. So that's really very cool. That's fun. Thanks for sending it, Dee Dee. I like to think you guys are out there living your best life. Denise was going to try and go down today. And then, of course, Sam is already off in Europe, so she won't be down there. Which I was telling Dee Dee, that's so sad. Logan gets to come and he can't hang out with his cousins, but it's harder as your kids get older, you guys. It just really is. At least the last time Jackie and them were here, we did get to see everybody. Everybody came down for a day. It's just harder as everybody gets older and they live further away, and just a lot harder for sure. I'm trying to think if after Jim and I lived here, if the kids ever. Now, we went up there and saw everybody, but I don't think the kids were ever here all at the same time. Okay, I'll quickly write Dee Dee back and tell her that I showed you guys. I showed the fibs. My phone doesn't like the word fibs. I'm going to say they're all happy for you guys. And hoping you're having fun. Okay, I had to respond. Hi, Belinda. You're never late. We appreciate any time you have to spend with us, so don't even worry about that. I'm just doing a little experiment. I don't know what I should do over there, if I should go ahead and extend it. Thanks, Joan. She sent a fist bump back. Fist bump. Yeah, I like this pattern that I'm drawing now. It always works out cool no matter what. I think I'll just end it there. Now, I'm not sure this Energel ink, it looks like it's just sitting right on top and not drawing, which means I could end up with some smearage, which I would really hate. Somebody tried to scam you today on your landline, Dorothy. You know, that makes me so mad. And Dorothy won't know this for 15 minutes, but she seriously lagged again. You go, Dorothy. All right, here's one for down here. Let's see which is the 5 5/8. All right, I'll cut it this way. So try and do some designs that fill up a little bit quicker. One nice thing about having a really wet spring is we've not really had any hot temperatures so far, which for Oklahoma is insane. We normally have hot summers. So rather than whining, but I can't help myself, I should just be thankful that we're actually fortunate to have these nice little bit cooler temperatures this year. Because when it gets hot, that's when y'all are going to start hearing some serious whining going on. Whining, crying, begging. See, it is smearing a little bit. Not horrible, but just smearing a little bit. Do I have a favorite pen? I normally do it with like 0.05 would be my favorite, but it depends really on the individual Zentangles. Like when I'm doing this small in these small areas, this is a 3/8 nib. 3 to 3/8 to me would be perfect for that. These little bit bigger areas, this is a 7. That's a little bit big. So I prefer 5. If I was just doing a design, I'd try and find a 0.05. And you can get the hybrid Technicas. You can get them in from, I think, 0.025. I never liked the 0.25. It's a nice nib, but for whatever reason, it clogs real easy. These 3s work really good, but you can get these, I know, up to 0.06. So they're good. And then, of course, microns. My problem with the microns is, and that's why you'll see me go to these kind of pens, is without realizing that I'm doing it, I will have a tendency to start pressing down and start wrecking the nibs. So that's why I tend to stay with the metal nibs when I'm doing something like this, because I will start pressing, and next thing you know, there goes another nib. But if you buy the now these I really love, and I maybe should be using these today, but these are the Copic multi-liners. The beauty of these pens is you pay a little bit more going in, but you can buy the extra ink cartridges and the extra nibs. So if you crush it, I'm going to say there should be another nib in here. So if you crush it, you can just part it out, and you're not having to rebuy the pens over and over again, which, I don't know. Think of it as saving the planet, man. But yeah, those Copic multi-liners are really nice. They really are. One of the few pen sets that I keep together. In their packagings, but mostly that's so I can keep the ink and stuff right there with it, because if I find a new spot for that, then I have to remember it, and that's where the whole plan starts falling apart. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? All right, where's that gray pen? Let's go ahead, and I might have to choose. No, that'll be fine. All right, I like these a lot better when I add some shading to them. Now, I don't know how valuable that's going to be when I cut them apart, but even like here along the edge of the color and the design, add a shadow in there so it looks like the color's sitting on top of the design. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Yeah, cat and paste. If you ever see those Copic ones on sale, they're awesome. Let's go ahead and shade this down here. On this one, the gray will be a lot more noticeable. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. And if I was going to do very much of this, I probably would try and find a finer nib gray. I know I have one. I'm just not going to look for it right now. Yeah, those Copic ones should be available, I think, worldwide. I think Copic is a worldwide brand. You can pretty much get all of it everywhere. I was surprised how much stuff that I thought it was American that you could get down in the, I don't know, call them stationery stores down in Australia. And I see these here. Maybe she'll remember. What was that one place that we went, CB, where they do all the stencils? Or maybe you didn't go with us that night. Maybe it was just Jen and I. Oh, I'll think of it. But they do a lot of stencils and stuff like that. I like that design too. I think a more filled in one though is, I like this stripping too. Let's try one of those, see if we can find a space in here where we could do that. That annoys me that I can't remember that. You're lagging because it's a long way from here. It is a long way. Yeah, I could do less. Or maybe, yeah, I agree, CB. But here in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and try and cut it up, and we'll see how it's going to work out. Now this one I probably will wish that I had used a different pen. Maybe a Sharpie to color in, because it would dry quicker than this gel ink. Oh, that name just almost came into my head. What the hell was that called? I have their stencils around here. We'll see if CB remembers. But they got lots of cool stationery stores in Australia. And I was surprised how many had American products. And I was surprised how many products they had that we don't have in America, that I've never seen in America. Hi, Angie. Okay, I have to see this. Canada link for Copic markers, multi-liner 5. There you go. Thank you, Devin. Your heat turned itself on. Oh. No, it wasn't Daiso. It was the one that they're famous for, the stencils. And it was in that mall in Melbourne. I'm almost sure you went. Maybe you didn't. I know Jen and I went there multiple times. And we went there the one night when the pizza ended up on the bottom of the oven, if you remember that night. I think it was the same night. I'd been down to that store like 3 different times, getting ice for Xandra. And then we went back and got the pizza a second time. And then we ended up down at, and I think it's, Kaiser. Kaiser. Thanks, Joan. Go have a great afternoon. Kaiser. CB, do you remember that? And their stencils are green. But there's, I think, another name after the Kaiser. I don't know. But I know I walked that street. Seemed like all night long. Going down to that mall. You didn't go there? Okay, then it had to be Jen and I that went there. I agree, CB. This would be really cool with bigger spaces. Let's see if I can extend this. I'm going to cut it up in just a minute so you guys can kind of see what I'm thinking about. There's before shading, or before shading, after shading. Makes a big difference. Kaiser Craft. Thank you, Kristen. Kaiser Craft. That's it. Anyway, Kaiser Craft in Australia is its own retail outlet. And they sell tons of stencils. There was just a fun place. Pens. Just, I love Kaiser Craft. And you can order it. Yeah, I think it will too. I just want to get some of these little bit bigger areas. I don't care if the smaller ones, I'll fill them back in with circles or something later. Oh, I just thought of another design that's way cool. Let's do it in this one. I'll extend it over the two spaces, but I'll keep the color in between. I'll just do it with the bigger nib for this line. Can't stand it if it's not right. Is Ruth taking off? Bye, Ruth. Talk to you later. Am I boring the hell out of you guys? See, this sort of stuff I can do all day long. And if I was here by myself, I would probably be listening to some conspiracy crap. So I could put it in the chicken conspiracy book. Ooh, I just tore into the paper. That's not good. It's relaxing. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. Just off the phone with the surgeon. Workers' comp. I can go. You can do it, Brenda. Hope his surgeon goes well. So he's not a great patient. No men are great patients, but you knew that going in. So just deal, girl. Deal. One nice thing about Robert, and he's never really been sick since I've known him, but he will never complain about anything. I mean, you can look at him and tell that he feels rotten. He'll never say a word about it. He just goes on like nothing's going on. So that's kind of nice. He's not a big crybaby. And I appreciate that. I really like this one where it looks like it's sunk down in. And if you guys think I had a plan, you're so wrong. Zero plan going on around here. Just doing whatever I'm doing. All right, let's use the little bit bigger nib and do that circle one with bigger circles. And I'll do that another couple places. I want to cut into it so bad. Oops, sorry, had hit the camera. Because I'm working close down here. Thanks, Keeks. I like looking through my Zentangle designs because I haven't seen them in so long. There's another one, I can't remember its name, that I always really like. Oh, this one's always really good too, but that one has to be a little bit bigger. This plantain, this one's always looks cool if it's shaded right. Let's try that. See if we can find there or here. Let's put it in here. Nah, I won't use a ruler. Let me look at it again. What did I do with it? Did I flip the page? No. That blue smears pretty easily. Who needs to spend this much time making washi tape for their beast? Apparently me. All right, something needs to be in there. You know another fun design. Let's do it in a bigger nib, right between the two thin nibs. You got kicked out of a Zentangle group. That's funny, Brenda. Yeah, this is going to be on wash. It's a washi sticker paper for the beast. So this is what people who have way too much time on their hands do. And I'm just outlining some of the areas that I intend to leave white. And then I think I'll go in. Come on. Don't start being a pain in the arse now. And I cut the paper the exact width. I'll show you. I'll put some of it in the beast so you can kind of see. Add some more shadows down in here. because the shadows, I think, are just going to, I mean, your brain still registers them, but they just disappear. You don't really see them. It's an illusion almost. Know what I mean? Of the colors that I used, it appears as though the blue smears the most. Or is more willing to move, I guess, is a better way to say it. Pink, almost none at all. And of course, the yellow, even if it was, I probably wouldn't see it. All right, I think, all right, let me double check which way I'm measuring here. No, it's this way. All right, so I'll go ahead and finish working down in here. I'm going to leave that one white. Fill this one with circles, and then we can cut a couple strips. And if it doesn't look cool, we'll call it a day and talk about conspiracies. Now that one's big enough, I need to put something in there. I know what, let's repeat that one that we did early on. Got quiet in here. I was actually sitting here thinking about Dee Dee and them hanging out down by the lake. What a fun day it is for them. You'd be surprised how many people that live on the lake never, ever go out on the lake. Hi, Tina. Most of the people out doing stuff on the lake are actually people who don't live here. They come here, which is cool. I like watching people having fun on the lake, but it really is surprising how many people live here who never go out on the lake. And definitely not on the weekends when the weekend people are here. All right. Let's shade it. And then I can at least cut a strip off and see if it's going to be fun. All right. Let's get a little cutting mat out. This will be our little test. Doodlers Anonymous is a thing. Wasn't there a book about that? You were watching about Bigfoot this morning, Tina. Yeah, I've always enjoyed doing stuff like this. Did you guys have peaches? I haven't gone out and checked the mail, Tina, so it may be out there. All right, I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to do this about 1/4 of an inch. I have to measure with the plastic and cut with the metal, okay? It's a rule in my life. It might be out there, Tina. I don't know, but we've had such screwy mail. Yeah, it may not get here till 4. Usually, used to always come in the morning. I could always count on noon or before. Not necessarily true anymore. It can come whenever they decide to get their worthless butt over here. All right, the next one should be a good one. Next one I haven't drawn in, so I'm going to stop right there. Oh, I want 4 pieces, though. Let's go 4 pieces. What the heck? I think I'm going to like it. The metal one, yeah, these are honestly the best rulers. I've had this one for years and years and years. You should be able to get it at Hobby Lobby, Tina. All right, I'm going to pull you guys out a little bit. Move my junk. Put my happy little washi tape over there. This is the beast. I got you guys pulled out pretty far. This is just stuff that I use in the beast all the time, so I just keep this little packet of stuff here with it. Here's June. Let's pick. Pick this page where there's nothing on here except Amy Shoto's birthday. Hey, Starla. Anybody else I missed? All right. Now, these should be the exact length that I want them. Okay. Let me put it against something. Let's see if it'll show up on the back of my phone well. You'll see how dirty the back of my phone is. I like that. All right. And I'm not sure that the designs of the Zentangle matter that much, because by the time you cut them up, they're just markings, you know. Get it right up there to the edge, because knowing me, my measurements are going to be pretty exact. Check it out. Oh, I like that. And that went over the edge into the other page, but since it's a center page, it won't matter. If this was on a cut page, it would. It would make a little bulge. I like it. Yeah, this is going to work out perfect. And honestly, I probably should be starting in the center and going out. So if I have any excess or anything like that, it'll be easier to cut off the edge than in the center. So I'll just have to be kind of careful to do that. Now this one's going to have more Zentangle on it, which will be way cool. Just a little bit of color. Which is cool. I am monetized, Tina. Oh, why don't I have the where you can contribute money? I turned that off. I don't know. I don't know. I turned it off intentionally. I could put it back on, but no, my channel is monetized. But believe me, if I wanted money, I'd sooner go get a job down at Dollar General and I'd make more. I promise you. You're not making any money. Or I'm not making any money. Yeah, see, cutting it off the edge. Sherry, where do you live? I could probably look it up in my little handy dandy book. Hang on, Sherry. I'm going to look you up. See if I have. It wouldn't be getting it from YouTube. I think they cut. Yeah, I think so too, Tina. That's part of the reason I took it down. I used to have it on there. And there were a couple things that pissed me off, so I just took it down. I don't care if I make any money, and I definitely don't give a rat's ass if they... Okay, Sherry. Are you still in Winnipeg? On Alexander? Okay. I'll probably go ahead and take care of that for you, Sherry. Have no fear. Let me write myself a note. The other day when I went to the post office, I went ahead and bought some international postage. So Sherry, probably what I'm going to do is cut it so that it can come as a letter. But I'll go ahead and make sure that you get some washi sticker paper, okay? You've been a great fib for a long time. So Sherry, you've got some washi sticker coming your way, girl. All right. So that was my idea for what I'm going to do for my beast. And I think every month I may pick it, because remember in the old beast how I used to always do the checkerboard? And I miss having that. You can see up here on the other beast, I don't have it. And I've missed that a lot. But this will be a reasonable facsimile that I'll like having. So, yeah. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. That makes me just happy, happy. But one thing I would say is, and I'm not sure, I'm just going to have to experiment and see. I'm not sure for the beast, like CB was saying, do bigger spaces. Now I put it away and I have to come back and look again to see if my brain is right. Because of the size that I'm going to end up cutting it to be in the beast, I'm not sure that I want it very much bigger, because if I did the bigger spaces and did more Zentangle, it would end up more like this down here rather than this up here. And I like this up here better than I like that. Does that make sense? Are you getting it? Huh? Yeah, for the beast, it's got to be more color and less Zentangle. I like the Zentangle. I definitely like the black and white with the color in, but I think this strip right here, to me, is absolutely perfect. Would you say you're going to be SOL if your brain has to be right to do it? I know, Tina. This is my lifelong struggle. Girl, lifelong struggle. But anyway, what I was saying about if you guys remember peaches, we had them here when we were kids. They were kind of, well, I have two of the fibs sent me some old-fashioned peaches, and I used to sit in class and just doodle until those things were absolutely looked like a Zentangle design, but it was really just me sitting there trying to figure out how to stay out of trouble more than anything. Okay, now I want to blow some more ink, and I won't make you guys watch me Zentangle. And this was the watercolor experiment that I did. So you can use your watercolors. You don't have to use the inks. And this was the acrylic inks. The beauty of the acrylic inks is they are not going to move. Not going to move. So that's the beauty of them. Let's blow some more ink, because we can. And who knows what I'll end up doing with this, but I probably will end up pasting that in somewhere. All right, let's blow some inks, because I like doing that. Focus, you freak. Doodle on your grocery bag, school. Yeah, we used to do that too, because groceries, when Tina and I were kids, you brought your groceries home in brown paper bags. You'd think we were all bringing home Playboys or something. And then we'd cover our textbooks with the brown paper bags, because if Tina's parents were like my parents, there was no way they were going to get store-bought book covers. Promise you. I really like that. Oh, I need to pull you guys down. Sorry, you're not seeing it. But I loved covering my books in the beginning of the year. This definitely looks like stuff growing. I don't even remember that there was. Well, now, I don't think there was back then, Tina, but there is now. All right, let's, just for the hell of it, I just want to see this. I'm just going to put a touch of the blue in the yellow and see if I can get them to go down the same lines. Looks like undersea, doesn't it? This is Bria Reese watercolor ink, Starla, but I did an experiment, and if you use just a dropper, like a pipette, like this, mix up some watercolor and put it in your palette, and then you can go ahead and just use a drop in the pipette and use watercolor. This was watercolor. And the beauty of the watercolor is if you can do it fast, the colors are going to mix. So you're going to get a whole variety of different colors just by using the three. The acrylics did not do that, but the watercolors definitely did. So yeah. All right. Now I just want to do more coral looking shit. This one I'm not going to be able to probably Zentangle on it at all, but that's okay because I'll just I'll use it for something else. I don't care. Let's put 2 drops down and I'll have to work a little bit quicker. You dyed your white Converse gym shoes purple. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's put some more red. I wouldn't mind getting more of that purple. And you don't have to worry about it because it's your own spit, okay? Yeah, dye. Yep. In fact, I have some out in my utility room right now, and I'm trying to think why I bought that. I wasn't really going to dye something. I was going to use it for art, but I can't remember now why I have it. It's been there for a couple of years, and I never used it. Okay, I just thought of something else. If I'm not going to do the Zentangle, and there's no room on this one, so no big deal. I just thought of something else I can do on this. Dye paper? No, it was something else. I'll think about it, CB. It was navy blue. you know what? If I had to do this over again, I would actually turn this paper the other way because my strips are going to be cut this way. I might end up just cutting them this way, so I get a whole bunch of different coloration in there. CB's sitting there going, settle down, you're getting carried away. Yep, I am. All right, I'm going to put the lids back on these. Well, you know what? Because I don't want to waste the paper down here. And remember, they're going to be cut up, so this is not going to appear all at once. Move it there. There. I might have started too far down. Got brown. I like the brown. It's really pretty brown. Okay. Okay. I'm going to have to get up. I don't have any. These lids are such a pain in the arse. I don't have any black ink in this Bria Reese, so I'm going to run in and get some black ink real quick. And actually, it was Starla that made me think of this. Hang on. BRB. I bought, at the same time that I bought that Bria Reese ink on sale at Hobby Lobby, I also bought a couple of these traditional Chinese ink, and they have shimmer in them. So they look black, but they're real shimmery with kind of gold in it. But you do have to shake it really good because the gold settles. Let me get out my little circle making tools here, and I don't want them too big. Keep in mind, because I'm going to end up doing this pretty small. That one should be good enough. I'll do one more bigger one. Hang on. Now I'm just annoying myself. All right. This is one of those little things that you put an individual flower in. And since I'm not a flowery kind of person, I use it for ink instead. All right, let's get some black ink out here. Has a cute little nozzle on it. It has a little nose. That's probably 10 times more than I need. Yeah, I'm going to get the gold ink out too, Starla. But I got to remember that I'm working kind of small. You got to punch that little air bubble. All right. It's just... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, we'll back up the boat. But the thing is, since this is not a whole piece of art, if I cut out a strip there and waste a piece, nobody's going to care. Nobody will even know but me when I get in there and write in the beast about why I'm pissed off today. I don't really do that in the beast. All right, it looks like the second one is going to work out better. So these will just appear random. If they're not complete, ain't nobody's business. Nobody cares. Another thing, all right, we'll do that too. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to try it. All right, that could be cool. Get some black splatters in it. Another thing is I could use the ink for the splatters too. So, yeah. So it looks like a mess. I don't think it's going to actually be a mess. When I cut it up, I think it'll look very cool. And every day I use it, I'll think of you guys going, yeah, the Fibs watch that. That be's cool. And when I cut it up, I'll, come on, don't be a pain in the ass. The gold is coming next, Starla. I forgot to punch the air bubble there. Ah, why do I do that? I'm so annoying. You like how chaotic it is? I do too. I like when you think you're creating a big fat mess, and then when you actually put it into use, practical use, you're surprised that it's nothing like what you had anticipated going in. So, yeah, I like that. All right. Let's get out some little bit of mica gold. This stuff is like crack. Just say no to crack, okay? And I'll use this one. I think it's going to be a little bit thicker. Get rid of the little air bubble. Ready, set. That was still wet. It might be fun. Oh, man. Okay. I think it was Sherry was asking about spraying it with water. But I don't know if you guys can see there. Let me see if I can get it up where you guys can see what happened. The red ink, can you guys see that where the red ink was still wet? And how it grabbed that gold, and that was so cool. All right. I may screw this whole thing up. We're going to find out. I won't spray it with a bunch of water, but just enough so that maybe some of the water will grab the gold. There's water there. Yep. Sweet. Nice. And of course, the gold is always, yeah, see how the water just grabs that gold and yanks it in, kind of like watercolor. Moves it around. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. Broke up that gold, that black blob there. Did you see me do that? I do that for no extra charge. Yeah, I don't, as a rule, spray alcohol. Of course, everything else I do is bad for me, so what the hell do I care? I eat lemon donuts. Ah, that's a big old gold one. All right, hang on. And because that circle is so big, it's going to appear on multiple of the strips if I keep them 1/4 inch. So let's just add some red to it. And it'll look like bloody alien eyes. There's something really, really wrong with me. I probably do need more color along this edge, but you got to remember, this is all going to get cut up into small strips. So what may look like a lot, and you're going, oh God, you're getting carried away. I'm really not, because I realize that it's not going to appear on every strip or on every page, because every folio in the Beast covers 4 days. So all right, put the lid on that. Let me clean up this big fat flippin' mess that I made, that I'm not sure how I made. But even that will end up looking cool. I'm going to suck up some of this. I do like the splatters. Now, the thing I'm not sure of, oh, that's, I'll test it on that edge. Duh. Let me clean this little brush out since I have black in it, in my alien green water over here. Yeah, it looks cool, huh? There's something wrong with me. There definitely is something wrong with me. I've not quite figured it out. But in all fairness to me, I haven't tried. Okay. I want some blue over in here. So I think what I'll do is try and keep it somewhat contained so I don't have too giant a mess to clean up later before I can feed my face. Okay, it's a little hard to tell that's blue. But this is still wet, so if it touches one of the wet spots, it probably will react. Yeah, see there? It's reacting with the other wet product that's still down. So that's very cool. I like using this little thing for splatters now because it keeps it contained. I don't end up with splatters on my light fixture on the ceiling and yeah. So this works out a whole lot better for me. Okay. Let's add some more. Also doesn't end up on your clothes, which is really cool. Let's add some more pink to the lighter areas so that when I cut it up, there's something of interest there. And I do have some green and some other colors, but I tried to stick to the 3 primaries, and the blue is not one of the primaries, but it's working, so I'm not whining too bad. So that the colors would mix on the page, which always I think is more interesting than just adding a bunch of different colors. So that's why I stuck with the primaries, because I actually wanted it to mix on the page. I had done something like this once before and loved the way it looked. Now it was nothing like this. This is a big fat freaking mess here. But the thing is, I think when it's cut up, it's going to be very cool. Oops, I just put it in the black. Back up the boat, back up the boat. It does kind of have a coral under the sea feel to it. The blue looks like black. I think it will dry blue. Let me hit it with a heat gun. I like the gold. I like the gold a lot. And I don't mind if there's white showing through. I think that looks very cool. Let me put that way away. I wish I should have just left the beast open. See, I think the areas of white are important. And of all of them, even though I like the Zentangle, this is my least favorite one. So live and learn. But I do like the gray, kind of shadowy. All right, heat gun. Heat gun, heat gun. One nice thing is when you work on this washi sticker paper, dries really fast. And it's not that absorbent. And then when you get tired of waiting, just sop it up. I think it'll be really cool cut up too, Terry. I'm excited. And now doing this today, I have enough for the next 6 months or more. But see how the gold absorbed that the color? And I like that. I like the gold with the color in it. That looks very cool. I'm going to remember that. All right, that should be dry enough. All right, let's cut up some strips. And I don't have too big a mess to clean up today, so that's very cool. Well, yeah, not too bad. Where's the pen I like? Oh, you guys, it's so hard being me. I'll use this one. I'm going to go ahead and just measure the whole sheet going down. Wait a minute now. Did I want it to go this way or this way? You guys, I think I want it to go this way. So, yeah, I think I do. I'll do it this way, and I'll just end up with longer strips that I'll just have to trim off. And I'll save some of it. Well, let's see that. I don't know how many days that would be. Let's just say one, two, that's 1, 2. All right, and then I'll do some wider strips. Yeah, I'll just do 3/8 inch wider strips. That's about closer to what a normal thickness of washi would be. And that's why I like making my own, because I can make it a little bit thinner and then end up with one. Now I'm going to have to mark on my paper. Hang on here. Me and my great ideas. This is the point at which I went to 3. How you like that, sports fans? Well, this has been fun today, and I've been planning it in the back of my head for the longest time. And then wouldn't think about it when it was time to stream. So, okay, Tina, go have a great afternoon. Give Mama big hugs. You know what would have been so annoying? Is if I'd worked on the wrong side of the paper. When you use this washi paper, always check that you're working on the right side. I can't tell you. I know of 3 absolute times when I've just worked on the wrong side of the paper, stamped a bunch of images, and then found out, oh, that's on the wrong side of the paper. And then you can't even use it because the sticky side won't even stick with a glue stick or double-sided tape. I think it would with matte medium, but I didn't try that. I got so frustrated and pissed off, I just threw it away. Because that's how I roll. Yeah. So you have to be a little mindful. I think I got lucky. I hope to God I got lucky and worked on the right side. If I didn't, I'm going to be so mad. Ah, look at what I just did. I cut that one all goofy. That's okay. I have extras and I can always make more. And I have never cut this washi paper in my Fisker cutter. Um, I always do my measurements on the back. I would almost recommend doing that on if you're going to use your Fisker cutter too, because the sticky paper, the sticky side does peel up fairly easily. So, yeah. I know, right, Keeks? Don't jinx yourself, dumbass. Here, this is the one I goofed up. So I'll pull it out and I'll use it for extras. I'm going to have to cut it. Wonder why my knife did that. See? Could be a dull blade. I can't imagine. I will use a X-Acto blade long after it's viable. All right, let's flip it over and see what we got. This is fun. That's one of the goofy pieces. That's the other piece of it. Let's just try it out. In the beast. Let's go back to a page that hasn't been used. Back here if I have one. This will work. I usually will not come back and work in the beast in these empty pages. They just stay empty. So I don't mind doing something like this. That's awesome. This is way awesome. Just saying. And I did work on the right side, in case you were wondering. Yeah, this is cool. And remember I said I liked that brown? That was on that one that had the brown on it. That brown is so pretty. It's prettier than sienna. Sweet. You guys, I love this. I really love it. I need to come back and color in my chickens. This was from Starla. That's what made me think of the gold circles, was that Starla's art. And I have some little bit extra left. Okay. Here's another one. Let's just, this peeled itself up. So let's just use it. Yeah, I like this. You guys make yourself some. You can thank me later. It'll all be good. But with that little bit of gold on it, oh, that's so pretty. And where the water grabbed the gold and pulled it in, when you get just at the right angle, it's so cool looking. Yeah, I like this. I'm so glad I did this now. I'm not in a bad mood at all. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I know that she hand painted those. Yeah, that's cray cray. Oh, and look in my calendar, June 15th on a Sunday, which is Father's Day in the US this year. It's also Terry Brett's birthday. So she's got 6 days till her birthday. Terry, did you want me to tell anybody? I literally had to abuse Terry to get her to tell me when her birthday was. Not even kidding. All right, so this is what I'm going to have to work with, you guys. I highly recommend you do this. Play with your stuff. Sherry, you're going to have some cool washi paper coming. So you can do this. Well, don't tell everybody. Too late, Terry. I knew I would just piss her off. Oh my gosh, you can tell it's killing me over here. So if you feel like it, wish Terry a happy birthday. She did. She called me all sorts of names. I did. And I told her that she was a pain in my arse. And yeah, I was very abusive. And I don't even mind telling you that when I want my way, I will be so abusive. It's not even funny. You have been annoying me, but Terry sends me some of the funniest stuff. I send Terry some pretty funny stuff too. But yeah, I'll see you at Wednesday at Dee Dee's. But yeah, happy unbirthday. Yeah, I'm really still loving this washi sticker paper, you guys. I had a piece left over, so I don't want to waste it. So if I have a piece like this left over, it's like, well, what am I going to do with it? So I got out one of the um, house mouse stamps and just stamped the image. And someday when I'm sitting here doing nothing, I'll just watercolor it in and probably put it in the Beast, you know. But the thing is, you know, I don't think I'm alone. In fact, I'm absolutely certain I'm not alone. That we've all spent a lot of money on our art supplies and our rubber stamps and all the stuff we love, and then we use it intermittently, whatever. And so when I do stuff like this, I'm just happy that I'm using my stuff, right? And so don't ask me, well, what are you going to do with that? It doesn't matter what I'm going to do with that. It's my stuff. I like it. I like playing with it. So shut up. So, yeah. So use your stuff. I'll go ahead and probably cut this up. I may go ahead because I do like the splatters and the little black circles and the gold circles. I probably will go ahead and add that to this as well. So think about all your stuff, you know? I mean, I would have been happy with it just like this, but since I've got the other stuff out and I won't have to let it go to waste, I'll just go ahead and use it on this now, because I have no preconceived ideas of what it was going to look like or how I wanted it to look or anything like that. So, yeah, just use up my stuff. And I'll probably pull out that desk journal and go ahead and use up the rest of this. But yeah, I'm just happy when I'm using my stuff that I love, that I paid all my good money for. Know what I mean? So I think I will call it a day. I'm glad I got through Monday without Dee Dee. I feel good about my bad self because now I know I can do it. We have spent a lot of money on our art supplies, but you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind spending the money. It's when I spend the money and I don't use it. It's kind of like wasting food. I hate to buy food that I either forget or whatever, and then I end up throwing it away. Oh, that makes me so mad. Um, so yeah, I like using my stuff. I paid good money for it, and I love every bit of it. I don't think I have anything around here that I just don't love anymore. So yeah, and I'll probably save some of this and stick it in Happy Mail here and there. So Sherry, you'll probably be getting some little pieces of it. All right, you guys. Watch your mail for your ATCs. They'll be coming pretty quick. And again, thanks to all who participated. It was awesome. And go out into the world and try and be kind. There's enough buttholes just floating around freely. Try not to contribute, okay? All right, you guys. I know your time is valuable, and I very much appreciate you spending time with me. So go be good and kind, and love you guys. See you later. Bye.